I'm from Canada, um, Western Canada. Charlie Kirk. Um, I think because YouTube is so global, I think that because the globe is so global, business, um, politics, wars, trade, everything nowadays is just it's global. Charlie, you were global. You were global. I mean, you were fighting for something in your youth, and you were doing something in your youth that, us older people that are 50, you know, because I'm 50, and, I grew up in a different time than you did, Charlie. I really did. And what I mean by that is, when we were 20, we were listening to music, having fun, and, probably smoking marijuana, I mean, driving cool cars and, chasing girls. And Charlie, I don't think that that's what you were doing. Um, I got this tattoo, and I got it years ago, and it's Greek. It's backwards, of course, because it's in an iPhone, but it's Greek, and it means Theos. It says Theos. It's a four-letter word for God, Theos. It's in the Greek language. And, I mean, I grew up as a Catholic. My dad was an Anglo-Saxon Protestant from England. My mother was French. Um, my dad had a Scandinavian background, so he knew uh, the pagan ways, which is yeah, pagan is so uh, broad. I mean, the Romans called anyone on the outside of the city pagans, and I mean, I know Charlie was really into history, and he knew his politics, and he knew his history, and he knew his, well, he was knowledgeable, man. He was knowledgeable. And, you look at that, and you look at Charlie, and you look at his age, and you just try and do some mathematics on that. And, you know, that man pushed himself at a geometric level to learn about the world, about what was going on in the world, what was right, what was wrong. And man, you know, I'm not going to say that Charlie was always graceful. Um, he was fair. Some of his speeches and some of his, conversations that he had with people were, some of them got hot, some of them got heated. Um, if you're coming, like he provided a platform for people to speak, and give their side of the story. And I think if you were willing to be straight up, calm, cool, and collective with Charlie, he was calm, cool, and collective with you. And I never met Charlie. I never even really caught Charlie until it was too late. I mean, I've followed Charlie for years, but that's too late. Do you know what I mean? That's just too late. Um, Charlie would have been a kid. Like, Charlie is my son's age. Like, right down to the year he was born. Uh, Not necessarily the month, but the year he was born. So when I see a 1993 to 2025, that kind of hits a guy just a little bit too close, to the chest, to the heart, to every inch of me, I mean. And then I look at my own, son, and he's my stepson. And I look at him, and he was raised a Mormon, so he kind of pretty much walked away from that maybe not that lifestyle, but that ideology. And, I don't even know today because we don't speak about it because, it was more of his mother that was a Mormon, and she pushed him and well, children rebel, right? Well, Charlie never rebelled. Charlie, he believed in God. He talked about God, and when Trump won in 2024, he thanked God. He said it's all God. Um, I don't know. I like. Is there anybody out there that's 31 years old with that kind of faith? Like, and I don't mean you go to church on Sunday every day, every Sunday, every week. I mean that go out in public and completely openly talk about God and completely and openly talk about whatever subject, you know, I'm not going to say opponent because, Charlie, I don't think he looked at people that wanted to discuss things with him as opponents. I think he just looked at them as people that wanted to discuss things. And I think that the rest of the world looks at it as an opponent. I mean, if the Edmonton Oilers want to play against the Los Angeles or the Viking, whatever, the last NHL series, that's an opponent. If Conor McGregor wants to fight somebody in the UFC, that's an opponent. Um, Soccer is an opponent. It's a game. Charlie wasn't playing a game. He was playing real life, and he was playing something. Well, he wasn't playing. He was doing something that no one had ever really done before. Ben Shapiro's done it a little bit, but nobody did it like Charlie. Like, where did Charlie come from? Like, and I question my own faith in times like this. I question my own faith because my wife is very sick. I've been questioning faith for probably, I don't know, 20 years. And then a guy comes out of nowhere, you know, that's 31 years old, and he doesn't question anything. He just broadcasts it out there live. And it's amazing. I looked and I watched his wife's speech. And because I have an opinion just about on everything, I immediately thought, you know what, that's too early. It's too early for her to have a speech like that. It's too early. But then I thought, and because I'm a realist in a sense, and I know my own wife, and this is something that might bother you men out there if you're listening or watching this video, but women are just tougher than men. And I don't mean like physically, and I don't necessarily mean mentally either. I think that we complement each other in that department. But pain wise, oh yeah. When it comes to pain, a woman can handle and endure so much more than a man. You'll be surprised on different levels. Just absolute different levels. So I kind of took that thought back and I was like, you know what? Maybe she is ready. And she wants to keep Charlie's legacy alive. And I think Charlie's legacy will live for a long time. I mean, Charlie would want it to mature and, become something even greater than it was, because when you have a child, and that is a child, his creation is a child, that's what you want out of it. You want it to become bigger and better than you ever were. And I hope that for his movement, you know. Anyway, I'm just from Canada, and, they're celebrating this all over the world. And when I say celebrating, I mean it in a positive way. They're celebrating it in a positive way. And as sad as that is, there's people that are celebrating it in a negative way. And I don't know what's wrong with the world anymore. I don't know what's wrong with the world, but it's coming apart at the seams. And it's not just in the United States of America, it's all over the world. Now, what is it? Is it the internet? Is it the too much information? You know, when I was a kid, we didn't know nothing. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have anything. I remember when the internet came out, it was it was really something. It was really something, 2000-ish, 2000 and I think it was 99, 2000. The internet came out and it was slow. It was a handshake deal. We didn't even have modems. We just plugged it into the wall and now you've got it in the palm of your hand. Well, I strongly urge people to use whatever's in the palm of their hands for good, because I think once the earth gets overcrowded with evil, which I believe it's starting to, we're in a different game. Charlie Kirk, rest in peace. I dedicated a Kid Rock song to you. The truth is I didn't know you personally. I don't know anything. I do a lot of music reviews and stuff like that on my other channel, so I'm kind of forced to always think that way. And well, I don't really even know a church hymn to dedicate to you. Like a bridge over troubled water or something like that. I just don't know. But you were clearly a hero, man. Modern day hero. I can't compare you to anybody. And I've said that. I've compared people to all kinds of things before. But you're Charlie. People will be compared to you. Have a good day, YouTube.